Here we have verse 2 of the 6th chapter of the Gospel of John. We've just seen in the first verse of this chapter that Jesus has left the region of Judea and Jerusalem, having wrapped up the conflicted conversation that he was having with the religious leaders. He goes back into Galilee, and now we pick up the story with respect to the things that took place there. And we hear akoluthē. This is from akoluthēo. It means I follow. This is the third person singular imperfect active indicative. Akoluthē, contract verb, of course. It's in the imperfect. It means that there was an ongoing activity of following. They were following him, implying that a certain degree of time, a certain amount of time had passed, that Jesus has arrived back in Galilee, and that there's been a certain degree of elapsed time, and so now they were following him, de, the soft conjunction, but there were following auto. This is the dative singular masculine pronoun, following him. This word akoluthēo takes the dative, and so that's why we find it here. They were following him, oklos, a crowd. This is the nominative singular, of course. It's the subject of this verb. And then polus, which is a adjective, means great or many. When it's singular, it means great, and here it's a singular adjective modifying the subject of the sentence, a crowd, and so there was a great or a huge crowd, a great multitude following. They were following him. Hoti, conjunction can mean either that or because. Here it means because. Etheorun, this is from theoreo, contract verb. It means to behold. Our word theory comes from this. So to behold something in your mind is, of course, to theorize about it. It comes from this Greek word that actually means to behold. This, once again, is the third person singular imperfect active indicative, because it or they, we would usually translate it, though it's referring to a singular noun here, because they were beholding, again in the imperfect, implying that a certain amount of time has passed. They were beholding, ta, the article, it's the neuter, accusative, plural, the semeia, the signs. So this huge crowd was following him because they were beholding the signs. Ha, relative pronoun, which, again in the accusative, plural, neuter. Apoie, this is from poieo, to make or to do. This, once again, is the imperfect. So all three of the verbs here are in the imperfect, making it clear that we're talking about something that had been going on for some period of time. And once again, this is the third person singular imperfect active indicative. So they were beholding, they were following, they were observing the signs that he was doing, epi. Preposition means upon. It can take various cases, but it always has that idea of upon or over. Here it's taking the genitive. The signs that he was doing with respect to tone, the genitive plural article here, osthenun tone. This is from ostheneo. It means I am weak or I am feeble. In this case, it's those who were weak or those who were feeble, a word that sometimes suggests the idea of being an invalid or someone who is otherwise incapacitated or ill, so it was a word that was applied somewhat broadly. And so, not surprisingly, we find that as Jesus arrives back in Galilee and begins to carry on his business of doing miracles, of healing people, of providing these kinds of signs, that an increasingly large gathering is attaching itself to him and following him, hearing what he's saying and observing what he's doing.